Don't eat butter, no salt, no sugar, no lard.
Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel, The Sunday Cook. You might have seen that in my recent Instagram posts that I've put a note saying that I was whoops, sorry, we're a bit wobbly. Saying that we were going to take a little break. And I thought that I might take today to clarify a little bit what that meant and to give you an update. When it started, it was quite, minute kind of pain. And I actually thought it was down to how I was sleeping. And, sometimes you fall asleep and then you wake up in the morning and you have a pain in your neck or you have a pain in your back and you're thinking, well, it's probably down to the position. So that was Wednesday, and then it progressed and it just got so bad that I couldn't actually move my arm, and I kept getting these shooting spasm of pain, starting from my shoulder down to my arm, and then down to my fingers, and so much so that my 3 fingers lost sensation. And I couldn't feel anything, and it would also shoot up into my neck. Wow, this is intense. Probably should go and see somebody about it. So I ended up calling my GP, and I went, and my actual GP was off sick and called in sick, so they sent me to this other guy who, for some reason, I don't know, couldn't speak English very well. Great. So he didn't really understand what I was going on about. He actually wrote on the letter that I had dislocated my arm, and I'm thinking, when would I have dislocated my arm? Surely I would have noticed. I think I would have noticed. Not like I lift, heavy things in my day-to-day. It's not like I'm an acrobat or a gymnast, far from it. So yeah, I thought it was a bit weird. Anyways, he made me go to the A&E, the hospital. So I showed up at the emergency room, and they assessed me, and then, to cut the long story short, there was a lot of waiting time as usual, and then they sent me for x-rays. And the doctor who assessed the x-rays showed me actually what it was. And so they've concluded that it's calcification, or calcified tendinitis, I think it's called. And basically it's a buildup of calcium in and around the tendon in your rotator cuff. The rotator cuff is actually here. Like, she described it to me like toothpaste, and so it's not meant to be there. So it basically pushes against the tissue walls of your muscles, of your tendons, and that's what causes the inflammation, which then causes the pain. Yes, that's what it is, and that's what's been causing the severe pain. The doctor said to me yesterday that it's something that's quite common, especially amongst women for some reason. No, the way she put it was, it's when you're getting old. And I was like, old? I'm only in my 30s. I'm not old. I'm not old. They don't know what causes it, but it does happen to men, but just not as much as it does to women. She goes, honey, I know when you were born. I was born on in the same year. So I was like, well, I still don't feel old. Yeah, I suppose you had to be there. It was a funny episode. Anyway, I know what it is finally. And interestingly enough, if I think about it, I used to get these pains, these periodic pains in the right shoulder every now and again for the last, I would say, year or so. I always used to think that it was down to just my sleeping position, because I tend to sleep on my stomach, but then I roll around a lot and I end up sleeping on my shoulder. And I thought that was what it was, but it's never been as excruciating as I've experienced this week. Honestly, at the office in my day job, I had to raise everything from my desk. So my computer had to go up to eye level, my what is it called? What is it called? You know, the thing that you... I've gone blank. Type with my keyboard. Sorry. So my keyboard had to be raised because I couldn't sit down, basically. I couldn't sit down and fold my arm to type. So I had everything. So basically I spent 3 days standing at my desk, standing to type. I couldn't write notes when I was in meetings, so I had to ask my colleague to take down the notes while conducting meetings and such, and it was a bit of a but I tried to make sure that it didn't stop me from doing the things that I love and the things that I need to do. I can do this with my arm. I don't know if you can see. I can do this. Yeah, so which is the chopping action, so that should be fine. It was excruciating. I mean, but basically, most people can do this. You know, you can do this with your arm, but I can't do that at the moment. The most I can do with my arm is probably that. No, not even that. Sorry, that. Every 5 minutes I felt like I wanted to rip my arm off because it was just too much, and that's what it is. So, the physiotherapy will help in terms of dislodging that calcium buildup, and hopefully it will it'll disappear. But failing that, she said, if the course of physiotherapy and the steroid shots don't work, then that means that I'll need to have my rotator cuff looked into via surgery. So last night, here's a great way to spend your Friday night. Dwayne and I had dinner and we watched a couple YouTube videos, because this is new to me, so I had no idea what it was. So we looked up rotator cuff surgery. We looked at, what else did we look up? And so there's a whole, who knew? There's a whole range of videos on YouTube that shows exactly how the procedure is done. Pretty intense. Let's hope it doesn't get to that point. But I don't know why I'm laughing. Because, yeah, I don't know why I'm laughing. But anyways, rather laugh than cry, right? I thought I'd give you this little update, so bear with me. I may not post as frequently as I do for now. It's just a temporary slowdown. If you had no idea that was happening, then great, it's no big deal until it gets better. So I hope to see you guys soon, and I'm thinking while the painkillers are kicked in now, I might actually head into the kitchen and prepare something delicious. So it will be all about how to cook when you can only use one arm. So this should be another adventure.